It is now 2026, so I hope everybody enjoyed. If you had, time off from work, from school, everything. Hope you're start the New Year's resolutions off. Listen, I've seen a lot of people sign up for the gym and stuff like that. So I would just give any advice for anybody. Listen, whether it's the gym, whether it's eating habits, whether it's anything you're deciding to change, doesn't even have to be a New Year's resolution thing. Anything is you might fall off a little bit, but make sure y'all just try to stay as consistent as possible and get right back into it. But so recently I did do my best like games or ranking the best games that I played and beat in 2025, so you can check that video out if you haven't already. But now we're looking ahead to 2026. We're finally here, and listen, 2025 was great. Not It was better than 2024, not as good as 2023 to me, but 2026 has a lot coming up. So I want to go through kind of the games that I'm most excited about. This isn't by any means like, oh, these are the best games of 2026 to look forward to. This is just my personal games that I can't wait to play. And then after that, I want to do a small little update for the channel and things going forward. Some things I'm thinking about as far as like content goes, release schedule and stuff like that. So definitely check that out if you're interested in that. But if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video if you like anything dealing with video games. That's what we talk about here. And yeah, let's get right into this list for what I'm excited for in 2026. So there's not really any games I'm interested in personally as far as January goes. You do have some good games coming out, but nothing I'm really interested in. But when we get to February 12th, as we saw in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct back in September, Mario 40th anniversary, we got Mario Tennis Fever. And just as a disclaimer, all the games I'm mentioning aren't necessarily games I'm definitely going to buy, but they are games that I'm pretty interested in. I might catch them on sale, I might buy them day one, who knows. But this game, listen, Mario Tennis growing up on Nintendo 64 was one of my favorite games, especially, as far as the Mario sports game goes. And the mechanics are adding to Mario Tennis Fever, especially when it comes to like the like Wonder Seed effects and like the different, let's say, call them the fever. So you got different fever rackets and stuff like that. I think it just adds a new dimension to the game, the fever meter, everything they're adding to it. It's just really cool that they're adding these things. Is it $70 worth? Not for me personally. And it's been a while since I've played a Mario Tennis game, so I don't know if they've added these like power-ups and stuff in some other form before. But either way, seeing it during Nintendo Direct, it definitely got me excited as far as some Switch 2 releases coming out. Again, day one, probably not. It's a first-party title, so it probably won't go on sale that often. But if I do catch it for that maybe under 50 range, like 45, $40, I'll definitely check it out. Then the very next day, on February 13th, we have a game that, listen, the first game when it came out was a dark time for Xbox. Game Pass was holding it down, but in 2022 we got High on Life from Squanch Games, from the creators of Rick and Morty, and now we have High on Life 2, which is also going to be in Game Pass, dropping February 13th. And this game was just one of the, like, you never really saw it coming. I think we do need a lot more games like this, like the raunchy, super crude humor, just space odyssey, just a lot of stuff going on. Now there is some I think it was like 42 minutes of gameplay IGN put out. I didn't watch any. Again, this is one of the games where I kind of know what I'm getting. I just want to play it, enjoy it, kind of go in somewhat blind, even though I played the first one. But I really enjoyed the first one. I'm really interested to see where they take the story. You see some familiar guns coming back. The like guns have the different personalities and commentary, but there's going to be a lot more going on with the game, so I'm interested to see where they go with this game. And yeah, this is one I'll check out, like I said, Game Pass, so definitely day one for me, and I think everybody should check it out. It's one of those, definitely don't, if you got kids or younger siblings, don't play it around them, but it's a really fun game, and it's actually done really well. Like the platforming and the puzzles, the story isn't like super crazy, but it's enjoyable. The dialogue, all the interactions with the different weapons and stuff like that, it's a really good game, so definitely looking out for this one. All right, now moving over to March 19th, we have Crimson Desert coming from Pearl Abyss, and I am cautiously optimistic about this game. It seems like it's a lot going on, and if they can nail it, it'll be really good, but it's it just seems like a lot. So I'm waiting for the review scores to come out for this, but will be like a day 1 or day 2 pickup for me, depending on what that review score is. And now this is technically a spin-off off of their MOBA game, or MMO game rather, Crimson Desert. It's coming from Pearl Abyss, and it looks like some medieval fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Breath of the Wild, action RPG, open world. Like, there's a lot, as I said, going on, but I do believe they just watching it and seeing some of the gameplay, I'm like, okay, if they can nail, if it comes together well, I'm with it. And it kind of reminds me of when we saw Black Myth Wukong for the first time, where it's like, okay, this looks great, but is this actually, like, is the game going to actually feel like this? It seems like you're doing a lot, the high fidelity and all that, the combat, like, is it going to actually stick? Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, meaning like I feel pretty good about it, but it's not something I gotta pre-order or, oh, okay, I gotta just blindly buy it. Like, I'll wait. Review scores for games normally go out, you know, a day or two beforehand, so it's no rush. It's not gonna sell out where I can't buy it, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. And hey, maybe no, it won't. It's not. I don't say it's gonna make me check out the MMO. It's definitely not. I'm not an online game guy, but either way, Crimson Desert. Can't wait for this one to finally come out. We've been seeing it for a few years now, and we're almost there, a couple months away. Now, on the same day, we have Mouse PI coming out. And this was that like Mickey Mouse Cuphead looking like inspector game, but it's a lot more violent than Mickey Mouse. We've seen Xbox getting kind of the marketing rights when it comes to the game. And again, this isn't necessarily, I'm not sure how much it's going to cost or anything like that, but this isn't one I will be mad at picking up day one. I could wait a little bit, but I can't see it being bad. Maybe it could be either like good or amazing, but I just really like the, like, you know, Steamboat Willie kind of flat 2D characters where you see there's like decapitation and heads blowing off, but then there's the detective parts of it too. So I'm interested to see, you know, if, you know, it has more to the gameplay of just, you know, just shooing around. Is the, you know, the story really worth it, the detective parts and how that connects with everything and piecing it together. You know, it doesn't have to go too crazy, but I would like to see that fleshed out a little bit. But Mouse PI looks pretty good. Like, there's going to be one of those like smaller games, you get the smaller experiences in between, you know, the big AAA blockbusters, but it's still going to be, you know, a pretty good time. I would assume this is going to be like a $40 game possibly, but we'll just have to wait and see. But either way, coming out on March 19th, Mouse PI. All right, now we're skipping ahead a little bit. We're out of March, we're skipping April. Not too much coming out that I really care about. Soros is coming out, but it's not a must play for me. Like, if I could get it on sale, maybe I'll check it out. Again, I don't know. It depends on the price too. Spending $70 on a roguelike's not my thing. But going ahead to May. On May 27th, we have 007 First Light coming from IO Interactive. And this one, I'm, again, a little cautiously optimistic just because they did have to delay it a little bit. We did get a trailer seeing it, and there was some, you know, hitches and stuff like that, but that's come to be expected with some of these, you know, earlier builds of the game before they're done polishing it and everything. And I never really got into the Hitman series, but I was definitely interested to see how the creators of Hitman do come out with a James Bond, you know, spy type of game. And, you know, James Bond, yes, you know, we all play GoldenEye 007, but my, you know, James Bond experience outside of that isn't very high. I've watched, you know, the movies and everything, but the gameplay from what I've seen with the trailer is going to have some of that, you know, Hitman, little bit of stealth, but kind of being like hidden in plain sight. You're going to these, you know, areas and different events and stuff like that, and pretend like you're part of the, you know, the party or whatever's going on. But then next thing you know, you're sneaking around, you're planning things, you're knocking people out, stealing outfits and stuff like that. And then the high action bombs and blowing up explosives, chasing planes, all the good, you know, James Bond stuff that we've come to know. And, you know, IO hasn't really missed yet, so I'm hoping, you know, it's cool they're expanding a little bit out of their comfort zone a little bit. It's still in that, you know, assassin spy, you know, universe type of thing or genre, but I think you know, I think they're going to do a really good job, so I'm looking forward to this on May 27th. Then on May 29th, I'm also very, like, unironically kind of excited for this game. Everyone saw it during, I don't know if it was, well, we saw it at the Game Awards and I think Summer Games Fest, but it's this this Lego Batman Legacy game that I've never played any. I think I play a little bit of like one of the Star Wars Lego games, but I'm not into like the Lego games. I'm not into Legos in general, but the humor and how it looks and like it seems like it's actually like high quality as far as gameplay goes. I'm pretty excited for this game. And I think one of the ways that, you know, DC or Warner Brothers has been winning when it comes to Batman in general, whether it's games or some other media, is this like humor, like putting him in these different other situations. Like we know Batman's like the brooding, you know, whatever, super serious guy, but then when he has these like little jokes or they're leaning into some of the memes and stuff like that, it's like it just makes it a little more enjoyable. Like you could really laugh at it. It seems like he's kind of maybe being a parody of himself, right? But then there's also, you know, we've seen Robin in some of the trailers, so the game looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to be, you know, a little more high quality. I still need to play all the Arkham games. I doubt that I'll get to all of them before this comes out. But listen, Batman is, I'd say it's like Batman and Spider-Man are like the two most popular superheroes amongst all ages, and yeah, this Lego Batman Legacy is definitely looking forward to this May 29th. Then on September 12th, we finally got the release date for Phantom Blade Zero. We got the announcement at the Game Awards. Now we've been seeing another game we've been seeing for years. This is another one that is kind of falling into that. I don't like putting all these in the like Souls category. Like this is closer to maybe Ninja Gaiden or Neo, where it's more, you know, combat focus and not just, you know, hit, parry, the same thing, and you're getting attacked by multiple enemies at once. But this game looks absolutely insane. It's going to be exclusive as far as consoles go to the PS5. Yeah, everything we've seen for this game just, I mean, I don't see any downsides to it. I mean, the combat, the different stances, the different like finishing moves, just the high fidelity, everything with this game just seems like, yeah, we need this. And you know, kudos to PlayStation. They've been doing a really good job as far as getting these, you know, Asian combat types of games like this. Black Myth Wukong, they had pretty much as an exclusive for a little while. Neo 3, all these games are very, very high quality, and they know how to pick them. So definitely looking forward to this one. Maybe day one, maybe not. I'm not too sure yet. All right, so those are all the games that we have release dates for. And now I want to talk about some games that are coming out that we don't have release dates for, but we do know are, you know, slated for 2026. And that first game that we're going to talk about is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. And so during the Game Awards, we did get the announcement of 2 Tomb Raider games. So we got the Legacy of Atlantis coming out, and then we also have a new game, which is going to be basically a start to, I guess, the new trilogy. But this is essentially a remake of the first game. We did get the remastered, you know, trilogy for the first 6 games, you know, in 2 separate releases. But this is a fully remade, you know, imagining of the first game, which I never played. I do own the remaster. I got it free, I think, with Amazon Gaming or something. But I loved the, you know, I loved Indiana Jones. I loved the original or the reboot trilogy of Tomb Raider from, you know, 2013, 2015, I think it was 18 for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And yeah, this game looks good. I mean, Tomb Raider is like a pioneer when it comes to these action adventure type of games, and yeah, I mean, the game looks good for now. We haven't seen like full on, you know, someone having a controller gameplay, but the classic dual pistols, Lara looks great, her new model and everything like that. The acrobatics, I'm sure the puzzles are going to be on point, and the tombs and everything. So definitely looking forward to this. No release date yet, but I'm expecting it probably sometime around, I know Amazon's working on a show as well, so maybe around that time we'll get those simultaneously or somewhat in the same window. But I could see this being a like September game. I'm getting some September vibes from this game. Now another game we don't have a release date for yet, but we did get a demo. So at the end of that Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, there were 2 games for Square Enix. We got Octopath Traveler 0, which came out in December, I think it was December 2nd. And then we also got The Adventures of Elliot, which is a brand new game, HD 2D action RPG coming from Square Enix. And I played through the demo, I really liked it. I thought it was really enjoyable. It definitely gave me like Zelda, Link to the Past, or Minish Cap vibes. And you know, it was cool seeing them do something different as far as the HD 2D, you know, not being turn-based or what do you call it, you know, strategy game. This is a lot more exploration, you know, cool bosses, dungeons. The only thing I don't like is the fact that the demo does not translate over to the full game, which is something that most RPGs have been doing. So I don't know why they did that, especially since you start from the beginning of the game, and I put in like 3 hours and stuff. And do I want to do it again? I don't know, but I kind of don't have a choice. But either way, looking forward to this one coming from Square Enix, and I think everybody else should try out the demo now if you're feeling a little unsure about it. Another game that showed up at the Game Awards, which was probably my favorite announcement from the Game Awards, was we finally got a look at Control 2, which people we've known has been coming. The Remedyverse has been in full effect. We got Control, Quantum Break, Alan Wake 2 back in 2023. I still need to get to that. That's the only game in the Remedyverse, as we're calling it, that I haven't played yet. Still waiting on Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes coming from Rockstar, but we did get a new look at, our first look at Control 2, and it is being called Control Resonant, and you will be playing as Dylan, you know, Jesse's brother from the first Control game, which is super duper cool. I like that they're kind of, it's like a sequel, but at the same time it's going to be very different. We're seeing a lot of different gameplays being you know, described as a action adventure RPG, and it really looks like combat's going to be a super strong focus. Like, obviously we know Remedy has full world building and the story and the lore and all the different things to find, but yeah, this, as far as action goes and actual combat, this looks very, I won't call it Devil May Cry-ish, but way more combat compared to the other Remedy games, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Great to see them still like continuing to expand on the world, and yeah, I'm here for it. And now, unlike the Alan Wake 2 situation, this game will not just be locked to the Epic Game Store. It will be on Steam, it will be on all consoles, it's even going to be on the, I believe, the Mac, like the Apple store. So if you want to play on your Mac, you can do that too. So it's really great. I hope, you know, the Remedy has really great games, it has great fans and all that, but for some reason that's not translating to the sales the way it should be. I mean, they're still in business, they're still making games, but I feel like they should be a lot more profitable than they are. So I hope people support it, but either way, I will be one of those people. I will be supporting this day one. So 2026 is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, and we've already seen in a few leaks that we should be getting that Gen 10, the 2 games coming out, apparently it's going to be about winds and waves. And while I did fall off of Pokemon recently, I did really enjoy Pokemon Legends ZA, surprisingly. I know it was very different, and Pokemon, you know, Winds and Waves Gen 10 is not going to be probably anything like Legends ZA, but I think it was a good switch up for me to kind of get back into Pokemon, you know, trying to start with Violet and not knowing a lot of the Pokemon and just, you know, kind of sticking to that same old formula. Yes, it was open world and there was the Terra battles and all that kind of stuff, but ZA was just like straight fun. I know people talk about like how it looked and all that, and it'll be interesting to see kind of what Winds and Waves will look like as far as graphics go, if it's going to be switched to exclusive. I do understand that ZA was a cross-gen because, you know, Pokemon aren't really super, like the games aren't super graphically intensive and things like that, and they wanted to definitely take advantage of that install base, but I'm hoping Gen 10 is, you know, switched to exclusive. They can focus strictly on that hardware and kind of get the most out of it and try to make the game as good as they possibly can get. You know, again, I don't want to like beat a dead horse with, you know, the perception of Pokemon games at this point. I said it when ZA came out, like everybody complained about it. I said, listen, I understand, but I was having fun with the game, and it's kind of, you gotta know and just accept Pokemon for what it is. It's making the money. They're going to do just enough to get people into it as far as visuals and stuff like that. Like, it's, they're not going to invest the money in it. Voice acting, they're just not going to put the money in it. You just kind of got to accept that. So I'm excited to see what Winds and Waves is going to be about. Y'all let me know. I'm trying to go on this odyssey to play all the generations I missed out on, so that 7, 8, and I never finished Violet technically, so 7, 8, 9, possibly going back to Johto on my 3DS. I don't know. I feel like that's a lot to try and do before a Gen 10 game comes out. I might end up burning myself out, but y'all let me know in the comment section below. But either way, hopefully Gen 10 delivers on what we're expecting from it. Next up, we got a game that I believe will be getting a release date for probably during a developer direct, where we got Gears of War E-Day, which is finally going to be that prequel to Gears of War that we've never gotten. Freelancer, just getting, you know, Marcus and Dom and everybody, just seeing them on Emergency. And, you know, Gears has been kind of like a horror genre when you really think about it, and we've never been able to really see you know, how things were then. And Gears 1, you're 14 years after that. You know, Gears has just been gone for such a long time. It's been, what, 7 years? Like, by the time this game comes out, this year will be 7 years since Gears 5. So they've been missing for a while. What are they going to do as far as the story goes and the trilogy that they were planning, the ending of 5? I don't know, but either way, Gears, one of my favorite series of all time, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one whenever it drops. Finally, we got the game we've been waiting for the longest from Insomniac. We got our first look at Wolverine, slated for 2026, and this is probably top 2 games for me, maybe top 3. I would say like Elliot, Gears E-Day, Wolverine, maybe throw Crimson Desert in there, but Wolverine for sure. Can't wait to check this out when we finally get a release date. And this thing was just as violent as everybody was thinking it was going to be. It was so violent that just scrolling on Twitter, anybody reacting to it, anybody posting videos of it, it just, yeah, everything was blocked out. It said, you know, viewer discretion advised. You had to click the little, normally like the button that when a girl's posting stuff she ain't supposed to be posting. That's the button that you will see when you was scrolling on Twitter. But this game's going to be so fun. I still haven't played through all the Spider-Man games, but Wolverine has obviously had a resurgence. You know, X-Men's coming out soon. We had Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm just really curious to see the, you know, moment-to-moment gameplay, all of it, you know, the platforming. I don't think it's going to be super platform heavy, but the violence is definitely there, the visceral fighting. And we've kind of seen in the leaks for, you know, Insomniac a few years ago that they are kind of building that Marvel universe, Insomniac universe, or whatever you want to call it, cinematic universe or game universe with, you know, the Spider-Man games, Venom, Wolverine, probably X-Men. I don't know about an Avengers game, but they seem to be heading that way. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this whenever it comes out. I'm guessing it's going to be a fall game. Maybe October. I can see this being an October game, but regardless of whenever it drops, it's day one for me. $70. Hey, I'll pay the, you know, the early access fee, whatever it costs. I'm playing this game. And now the last game I want to talk about is called Chronos Script, and I don't think you'll find this game on anybody's list for most anticipated games. And this isn't super high on my list. We don't have a release date. This was one of the games they showed at the Sony State of Play back in September. And I'm not going to lie, some of my interest kind of come from the fact that I seen it get revealed while I was playing Silksong. Yes, maybe, but this is coming from a studio called Deskworks. So this is going to be their first game, and it's based on you being a writer and going into a story that has been over 1,000 years long. And it's continuously to keep going. And what really pulled me into this is, yes, I'm not burned out on these like indie or AA, you know, side-scrolling platformer action games or whatever you want to call it, because I haven't played too many. So some people may skip this, but the art style in this game looks so cool to me. Like, it doesn't look like, it's not cel shaded, it's not pixel art, it's like pen. Like if you took a bunch of ink from a pen and tried to make a video game, like this is kind of what it would look like. Like the environments look really cool. I love the interaction between like it actually being like a book, like the pages and different parts of the book actually transforming as you're playing through it. The bosses look pretty cool, and yeah, this game looks really interesting to me. And no release date as of now, but you know, again, it's one of those kind of, I call them the stopgap games, like games that aren't like super huge, but they're still interesting, that kind of hold you over until you know, the next big AAA game comes out. So the Chronos Script, The Endless End, as it's being called, is coming out at some point this year. No release date, but it will be a PS5 and PC exclusive. So unfortunately, I would like to play this on like the Switch or something like that, handheld, but I'll probably just, you know, settle for getting it on PS5. Now, there are games that I would also put on this list that we don't know if they're coming out. Like there's rumors about them coming out. Like we might get Persona 4 Revival. Fable is supposedly coming out this year. I still don't trust that. There's rumors that Clockwork Revolution is coming out, and that is my most anticipated Xbox game. Like, yes, I want to play Gears E-Day more than anything, but as far as new IP that I think has a, you know, chance to really give Xbox that like game of the year level type of game, or like that conversation starter, that water cooler type of game, I'm really looking forward to that. Until we actually get confirmation on that, and like until I'm able to download Fable I'm just not putting it on the list of anticipation. All right, and then last up, I just want to give a quick channel update. So 2026, what I've been thinking about, and I've been thinking about this for a little bit, just, you know, I did a whole 5-year anniversary video last year in September. Check that out if you're, you know, curious about it. But I kind of went through like all the different changes that have been, you know, with the channel, whether it's the content I put out, the background, you know, I moved. So there's, you know, a little more stuff going on in the background, frequency of uploading, streaming, all this kind of stuff. And what I kind of want to do is kind of step back from some of the newsy topics that I've been doing. So what I've been thinking about is try to get back to more thinking about my tastes and stuff like that and what I like about gaming and stuff. So what I'm planning to do is at the end of every month kind of do a wrap up of games I beat that month, which I think is a lot more fun because I can kind of play games at my own pace, whatever I decide to play that month. I'm not in a rush, try to talk about the new hottest thing. And you know, I'll be playing games from whether it's released this year, released last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. And you know, kind of get my perspective for someone who's played it for the first time and kind of do these little mini reviews. Maybe I play one game for that whole month and I spend, you know, however many hours, 100 hours in it, and it's great. Or I get 4 games knocked out 20 hours each or something like that. Like it could really, you know, vary. And I still want to, for certain discussions and topics, maybe do, you know, off the side, you know, videos on that, or maybe shorter form content like YouTube shorts, TikTok and stuff like that. But that's kind of what that's going to be the big change on this channel. I do want to kind of talk about that stuff a little more, about like what I'm actually playing, what I like. I just, yeah, I've kind of grown out of the like try to chase the hot topic, the news. I'm doing a little too much going on the channel, and I think it's kind of making it a little less focused. So I do want to, you know, reel back a little bit and kind of do that. So it'll probably be, you know, less uploads, but a little more like personal, high impact kind of content. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So, you know, if you're into that, please do hit that subscribe button. Anyone that's been here for however many years, you know, I appreciate it. But yeah, that's pretty much my update on that. So I appreciate y'all for checking out this video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what games are you looking forward to in 2026? What was your game of the year last year? And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.